Front Porch is Churchill's breakfast and lunch cafe, serving Southern favorites like Cajun short rib hash and eggs, smoked chicken and waffles, and fresh breakfast sandwiches. We're more than just a local coffee shop. We're on a mission to provide job training and employment to young people from Richmond's East End and offer an inviting space for our community members to gather. Visit frontporchrva.com for pickup, DoorDash, or catering.
In a world where quality business information is needed, we bring you On the Mic with Mike, the leading social enterprise business show in RVA. Join Mike King, the partnership guru, as he delivers game changers in Metro RVA. On the Mic with Mike showcases how business can help make society better. He discusses tech, culture, innovation, best business practices, and highlighting area nonprofits. Join Mike Monday through Friday, because it is the place where the best and brightest come to chat.
On the Mic with Mike, the best business radio program around. I'm your host, Mike King. Proud to have you here with us. ESPN Richmond. No. ESPN Richmond 106.1. That's where we find it.
Okay, I stopped it already. It was loud.
Phone ringing.
Okay, ready? Is it on silent?
Yes.
I make sure most joints on.
3, 2, 1.
ESPN Richmond 106.1. Mike King here. It is my honor bringing Duane Brown, Churchill Activities and Tutoring. Welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, and the name of the program is
Enterpriseworks.
Enterpriseworks, because enterprise does work. All right, give our folks the listeners an idea of what Churchill Activities and Tutoring is. And then you ain't rolling solo today. You done brought a rock star with you.
Yeah, my man Jay Cookingham from upstate New York.
All righty, so Chat. Tell us about Chat real quick.
Yeah, Chat. We do youth work. We have a workforce development program for operating for small businesses to provide job training, mentoring, and employment for 16 to 24-year-olds living in Richmond's East End.
All righty, and how can people find you?
chatrichmond.org. Click on workforce development. You'll find all our small businesses there, a little bit about our mission. You're able to donate, support, and volunteer.
Okay, and the type of, you have a couple other businesses part of Churchill Activities and Tutoring.
Yeah, we also have Churchill Academy, which is our independent high school over on Carlisle Avenue Baptist Church. We have 50 students over there. And then we have after school program for tutoring. We have a lot of volunteers from VCU and area businesses that come in and provide academic tutoring and activities after school for our RPS students in general.
Your big day coming up tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
But this is something that you guys kind of do on a regular. You are a chef and you're out there chefing it up, but you're passing your talents on to the next generation. Talk about what you guys have going on.
Yeah, we operate Front Porch Cafe at 2600 9 Mile Road. We're doing a community dinner series to encourage and support some students at Churchill Academy that have had perfect attendance so far. And so each month we do a 4-course sit-down dinner, one to encourage the youth in our program, 2 to provide hospitality training that the industry so desperately needs, and then also to have a community space for people to gather.
You said 4 courses.
4 courses.
A cultured person like me, what exactly are 4 courses? I just want, there's some people out there who don't know.
Right.
And I'm one of them.
Right. Imagine, taking 2 hours to eat dinner. Right.
That's a long time, man.
Yeah. A lot of conversation. We got live music.
Okay.
We have a first course, which is the appetizer.
Okay, that's one course, appetizer.
Then today we're doing, or tomorrow we're doing, which is a seafood stew, Italian seafood stew.
I'm down.
Yeah,
okay.
We just got all the seafood in. We're pairing each course with wines. We're teaching wine service. And then we have also buco as the main entree.
It's not, what is asabuco? Because I just hold the whole thing together. See, I'm from Philly, so I don't know all these cultures.
It's beef shank, basically the calf of the leg of the animal, but it's stewed with root vegetables and a really nice savory gravy. We're pairing it with a Cabernet Sauvignon. And then we have Italian meringue with cocoa nibs.
Yeah, I feel smarter just standing here next to him. All right, man. Introduce Jay, please.
Jay Cookingham. Yeah. He's a good friend of mine, but also a partner. When I was in upstate New York, we did we met in and through the concept of racial reconciliation and how do we bridge, right, race, economics, class to build a better future. So we actually met via Twitter, like of all the things of social media, like
of how big Twitter is, you guys meet.
this was, and we got connected through the organization was actually in DC, and they pinged us, like, and we were literally living 2 miles from each other, but did not know each other. So we got connected via Twitter, and we started doing racial reconciliation work with a ministry in Poughkeepsie, New York, which is a lot of similarities to Richmond in terms of its dynamics, proximity to a major city like DC, right? New York City, hour and a half, but plagued with crime, poverty, disparity, all those things. And so we had come together to just have conversations. We meet for coffee, and figured we needed to talk about hard things, and trying to figure out how do we talk about hard things? How do we come together? How do we learn to understand each other a little bit better and bridge the gap?
Jay, welcome to the program. Really quickly, give us your story, and then you guys got some really interesting conversations that you've had, and make it available to our listeners. We got ears open because it's an important topic.
Well, it's great to be with you, Mike. Nice to meet you, Duane. It's always good to have a conversation with. Anytime I have a conversation with you, I leave a better person for it. So, a little bit about me. Okay, well, how do I start? I'm a father of 7. I have 7 kids.
Hey.
Yeah, 7 kids. I was married for 37 years. My dear bride passed away December of 2019. But my kids are from a range of 19 to 33, and everything in between. 5 boys and 2 girls. I get to serve as pastor to a wonderful little local church in the little town of Hyde Park. And I also lead a men's ministry called Strategic Fathering Ministries, which I've done for over 30 years now. That's short.
That is, it's impactful, really. All right, a pastor. Now I know that right there. We got to get that out of the way here.
Yeah.
We talk to a lot of people out there. All right, Pastor, what's the word on the street? How are people doing?
You know what? People are doing about as much as, there are people who are doing really great, that really are diving into their relationship with God. And then there are people that are just the opposite. There are, all the concerns of the world, whatever's going on right now is just devastating for a lot of people. And of course, the many losses during COVID and, job losses, actual lives. And, there is a lot of discouragement out there. There's a lot of work to do.
There you go.
Yeah, I think about when at the last summit about hope dealers, and Jay is a hope dealer. His church does a tremendous amount of outreach, community feedings, clothing, donations, benevolence, you name it. His ministry is boots on the ground, providing hope to a lot of people.
When you sorry about that.
No, go ahead.
See, I didn't get excited.
Yeah, go ahead on. Go ahead. Let's go.
So, what did the pandemic do for you guys, for the church? Did it take you to the streets even more?
The pandemic hit. It was a very unusual time for us. Like I said, my wife passed away just before the pandemic hit, and then we lost our founding pastor 6 months later. And so we were reeling mostly from those 2 losses, and didn't even really. We lost our building. The building we were renting, we couldn't meet in it anymore because of the pandemic. So we were kind of like disenfranchised spiritually and geographically. We just couldn't have a place to meet. So what we did is what we normally do. We partner with a lot of different churches. So we partnered with a larger church, and we had like what we call parking lot church, and try to regroup some of those things that we lost because of the pandemic, some of those boots on the ground things. And we are just now beginning to recover, about a year later, just reconnecting, because there was a lot of people that left this area. A lot of pastors that I had connections with left this area for other parts of the country. And so trying to reestablish those connections again, those relationships again, have taken almost a year and a half of getting there. So it kind of disrupted, to answer your question shortly, it disrupted everything that we were doing, because everything we were doing were like Duane said, we were trying to be hands-on, boots on the ground kind of a situation. And of course you couldn't be with people, but we did continue to feed people out of pantries, group pantries. And we met people, and I went to people's homes to pray for them and stuff like that, or to help them with some particular needs that they might have. We tried very hard to kind of keep that person-to-person touch, but it was difficult because of all the restrictions.
Yeah. So Jay, one of the things I know you're passionate about that I touched on is the concept of racial reconciliation in your church. Can you share with us a little bit about how you approach learning more about African Americans, some of the challenges that we face as a pastor, as a white male, like your story about your dad? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. I grew up in a very abusive home, but my father was probably one of the most racist people that I've ever met. Actually, he hated everybody. He didn't discriminate about who he hated. He hated everybody, and he made it pretty known. And he had a little tool shop in his basement. And the story that Duane is talking about is, I was like 10 years old, 12 years old, and my father told me to get downstairs to change all the prices on as many tools as I can to make them higher and get it done as quickly as I could. And I never argued with my dad. I didn't know why he did that. And then eventually he let this man into the tool shop, and he happened to be a black man. And I finally figured out why he wanted me to raise the prices, because he wanted to take advantage of this man. And even in that, even when the man stopped to look at a tool and said, really, the price for this, my father would up it right at that point. It's like, there was such hatred in his face. And I remember the man, he was wise. He wasn't going to be taken by any of this. And he turned and looked at me and just kind of gave me this look like, hey, I hope you don't turn out like your dad. I don't know how he communicated that to me, but he did. And I kind of made a decision then, that I was not going to treat people like my father did. Anybody, but especially people of color, it just kind of struck a chord in me. And so on my journey, I've tried to learn as much as I can about the culture and about how our races don't mix more than how we do mix. And there was this for about a year and a half, about 3 years ago, I took part of a online, much like this, a Zoom meeting with 3 African-American brothers. And they let me in on some difficult conversations every Tuesday night for a year and a half. And then eventually I was just listening at first for a long time. And then they invited me into the conversation and allowed me to ask all those questions that are difficult to ask, and really gave me it was more than an education. They brought me into a relationship with them. They're my friends to this day. And that led to actually reaching out to the African community to try to meet with pastors and to start doing things together, meetings and things like. And then I met Duane, and a lot of things took off from there.
Pastor, it's one thing really quickly. So I had a friend one time, and there was an article on the cover of Time magazine, and it said, "Will you be my black friend?" And it was funny because a lot of times we look at things that way. So one of the great parts about having a show is I have people who come on, and there's a guy, Mike Lee, in town who is blind, but he doesn't do things like the typical blind person. So when he comes on the show, I say to him, "Will you be my blind friend?"
Oh boy,
you have to answer all the questions that we have, because you said you sat there and listened for a long time to get the information. Sometimes we don't even know the questions to ask. And when we do, we don't know whether it is okay to ask that question. So, kudos to you. And it does keep the conversation going. On the mic with Mike here, we are here with Jay Cockingham, Duane Brown from Cookingham. No, I didn't. Okay.
No worries.
I bet
happens all the time.
I bet
it happens all the time.
Cookingham.
Yeah, just like it sounds, man.
Cookingham. ESPN Richmond, Duane Brown, Churchill Activities and Tutoring. We have to go away for a moment. We'll be back on the other side. As I always say, the microphone ain't free. Plus my grandkids need stuff. We'll be back.
Hi, this is Andy with Junk Luggers. Have you ever wanted?
Mike King is in the business. Mike King is in the business. Mike King is in the business. Mike King is in the business, man. The champ is here. The champ is here. The champ is here.
Mike King Biz, ESPN Richmond, the champ of Business Talk Radio.
Mike is mine. From Michael Mikes. From the Michael Mikes. Michael Mikes. My name is Isabella, and you're listening to Mike King Biz. Hubby, that's my scam.
On the mic with Mike, ESPN Richmond 106.1 is where you find me. This is Mike King, Duane Brown, Jay Cookingham. I got that right this time. They're here talking all the great things. Duane is with Chat.
Churchill activities and tutoring.
And these ladies, we got guests in the studio. Hey, really quickly, we got my man Will Melton's wife in the building with us. We're going to talk to her and some great things that they're doing, but they see your buses.
Yeah, driving the kids to school, after school programs.
So you guys are legit.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. All right. I did this here because you were cool, but you really have an organization. There you go. All right, man, I'm sorry. I'm going to get this back on track. Go ahead. Sorry about that.
Talking about the youth, right? Enterpriseworks, youth workforce development. So Jay, in your opinion, you're out serving the community. What are the top 3 challenges you see facing youth today?
Wow, man. I mean, top 3, I think they revolve daily, but as you know, I was thinking about it. I was thinking about all the different conflicts, and what they do to a young mind. And I'm thinking about all the mental health problems, because I have a daughter that deals with high anxiety and depression. So I think about the uncertainty in the world. That's a major problem, with all the racial tension, the economic tension, the environmental tension. There's a lot of uncertainty about, what is exactly going on. And then I think a third problem, which might not be on anyone's list, but I thought about the lack of mentors or coaches or guides that can actually help people through uncertain times. So those are kind of the top 3 that kind of circulate in my world. There's a lot of mental health issues in my area, and I deal with that a lot. But I think it's caused mostly by the uncertainty in the world.
So how does your work or expertise, whether strategic fathering ministries or as a pastor, impact some of that?
Yeah, I mean, actually, so dealing with it within my own home, and I have several members that come to church that deal with similar things. What we try to do, I like to call myself, you were very kind to me, talking to me about being a hope agent. I kind of like to think of myself as a freedom fighter, a freedom engineer, to help people develop certain pathways to wholeness, and to help them develop so they understand what their identity is and what their purpose is in life, because that's the 2 greatest questions on the planet. Who am I and why am I here? To help them develop practical pathways, steps to get healthier mentally or physically or economically, educational wise. So what my ministry does mostly, the Strategic Father Ministry, is that we help equip men to be better fathers, better husbands, better members of their community. And when I say better fathers, not just to their own kids, because many men don't have their own kids, but to be mentors, to be coaches, to be guides for younger people, to give them a helping hand, to lead them into places these young people want to go, that these men have already been. So I figured if we can make stronger men, we can make stronger families, we can make stronger communities, stronger educational systems, and so that's what my ministry, through Strategic Father Ministries, and actually through my role as pastor, I try to father people, to help them see what God sees in them, but also I think freedom is this. Freedom is not the ability to do what you want, when you want, and how you want. Freedom is becoming the person that you were always meant to be.
Yeah, dropping it like it's hot.
Yeah. In the last 2 minutes, mentoring, as you alluded to, it's a core pillar. We see the fatherlessness and the work and the people we serve at Chat. Who in your life was that person that you look to that had that influence for you in your life?
Yeah, I had, I can list you a group of men that were put into my life that helped me at different stages of my teenage years, my young adult years, and then my years as a husband and father. But I really have to put my wife on a pedestal right now. She really rescued my heart. She really saw things in me that no one else saw. And so I think the man that I am today, I give all praise to my wife, because she actually mentored me in a lot of things.
Pastor, really quickly,
yes,
this is not gonna be one of those Jerry Maguire moments. We ain't crying up in here because you asked him how you were a better man, and my wife did it.
Yeah.
Kudos
True.
to,
Yeah.
that is the truth. Shout out
Yeah.
to not all the wives out there.
She's my hero. I can list of at least 10 men that were truly impactful and truly instrumental in me becoming a man as well. But really, when I look back at my 37 years of marriage with my bride, she definitely rescued me and allowed me to see the person that I could be. And that's the kind of gift I want to give to other people. I want them to see the person that they actually can be. Give them that freedom, that hope. And to equip people means, the Greek word for equip, when I'm speaking a little pastoring here, excuse me, actually means to get a ship ready for a journey. That's what the word equip means. So to get the provision, get the training, get the maps, get the instruments, get the crew together, to get people ready. So that's what I love to do. And I have to thank my wife for that, because she taught me all about that.
Thank you. Jay Cookingham, Strategic Fathering Ministries.
There we go. That's
Enterpriseworks.
And okay, that's the name of the program. Sir, you dropped some things on us right here, starting the week off. That's what we do here. On the mic with Mike. Jay Cookingham is with us. Duane Brown, Churchill Activities and Tutoring. On the mic with Mike, we bring you the best and the brightest. Pastor, thanks we needed that, man, to kick the week off. Thanks. Now take care.
Well, thank you. God bless you guys.
Thanks. Now bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.